What's up? What's up? What's poppin'? Snake Dog 916 coming at you live from Sacramento. Hey, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, man, if you like the content you're seeing on my channel, man. And if you want to see something, if you want to talk about something, whatever, hit me in the comments below, man, and I'll try to get to that. I answer questions. I like comments, all the stuff. You guys know the links to the Instagram is nate.dog916 or sandman2788. Anytime y'all want to tap in, tap in. But today, we got a banger for you. And you already know, because you can see in the camera. First of all, I'd like to welcome back Mr. Paul Scott. How you doing today, brother?
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Nice sunny day in
Nice
California,
sunny day.
man. I can't beat it.
Wonderful day.
Nice flight? Good flight?
Good flight.
Okay.
Good flight in from Atlanta to
Right.
Los Angeles, and from Los Angeles here to Sacramento.
Well, thanks for coming, man. Thanks for taking the flight up, man. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
And now I'm sure you guys can see a third person in our in the camera, and so we're gonna kick it off the way we always do, man. What they call you? Where you from, brother?
My name is Paul Jr. I'm from Pasadena, PDL.
Okay, Pasadena, PDL, Pasadena, Denver Lane. That's PDL, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of y'all who don't know, that's a blood neighborhood in Pasadena. Glad to have you, brother. Glad to have you. Thanks for flying out, man. Man, this is gonna be a banger interview. But first, let's get into a little bit about you, man. First of all, we all know that you're obviously Paul's son.
Right.
So how was the childhood of how was your childhood? What's your impression of your childhood?
It was fair. I mean, it was just considering where I grew up at.
Yeah, gang infested neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you get involved in gangs at a young age, or?
It started about 10, just going around the neighborhood, walking the neighborhood, looking at the older people. And then official was about the 7th grade, so I say about 12.
Okay.
About 12.
Okay.
Junior high.
And I'm from Sacramento, so I really don't know the Los Angeles politics or the politics that go down in LA County. So did you have to be put onto your neighborhood, or did you just start hanging out with the dudes that were gang members already?
No, I had to get put on.
So you had to get put on. Are you able to tell us what that was about, or how that happened?
Just a 2-on-1.
So you had to fight two of your homies,
Yeah.
2-on-1?
And then, do something.
Oh, okay. Then put some work in.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Okay. So yeah, up here we kind of like, it's a family thing. We kind of matriculate into being from the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we don't really put, like, in my neighborhood, from my generation of my neighborhood, we grew up together. We all grew up together. So we were just a crew of homies that ended up gangbanging. You know what I mean? So nobody really had to be put on in our neighborhood. We had like 2-on-1s and we had like disciplines, but that was just like regular hanging out for us.
Yeah.
Like, let's make sure you know how to fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? But okay, so
it was more different. Like my dad didn't gangbang.
right.
So, but if he did, I could have just walked on.
Right, okay.
Versus,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Having to be put on.
Prove yourself. to
Right.
it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so you ended up going to prison.
Yeah.
You gang bang, they led you to go to prison. Do you mind telling us a little bit about the case that sent you to prison?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, so what happened?
It was one morning I was coming from a young lady house, and I had gotten into it with some enemies. It was an enemy's hood.
Okay.
And I came out, and we started banging on each other. They banged on me, I banged on them. I left, went and got a gun, came back up there with one of my homeboys, and
Right.
shot him.
Okay. All right.
And we didn't get 2 blocks before the police was behind us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that ended me up with I took a deal for 7 years.
Okay, for what was the deal for? Murder? I mean, attempted murder?
Attempted murder.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you got sentenced to 7 years.
Yeah. With
California.
85%.
California State. You went to LA County?
Yes.
What was that like?
Ooh.
What was LA County like? Tell us a little bit about LA County, because I've heard a lot of stories. I've never been there.
Yeah, I don't think you would want to go there either. It was hard, man. It was hard, especially being 18. I think I was 19, 19. And just seeing the way they live.
Right.
It was totally a culture shock.
Okay. Matter of fact, before we get into that county part, I'm sorry. Mr. Scott,
Yes, sir.
when you heard that your son was out there gangbanging, and he caught a case and he was in the county, what was going on with you? And where was your mind at this time?
I feel like I personally was arrested all over again. Like everything that I'd worked so hard to accomplish and gain, that I wanted to allow to just be transcended over to him to help not make the mistakes that I made.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even more like a failure because I didn't have the resources to transmit over to him what I had learned.
Right.
But what resource I did have, I tried to the best of my ability. So that reinforced the powerlessness under those conditions.
Right.
So I felt hurt. I felt sad.
Right.
You know, and once I found out that he was in there, I was trying to do whatever I could to lead him in the right direction to make the right decisions. But his mother felt what had happened to me was going to happen to him.
Okay.
So whenever they offered him a deal, it was like, take it.
Take the deal.
So rather than looking at the circumstances, talking it over with some legal advice or counsel to see what would be the best decision to make, he took the deal.
Right.
So when I found out he was in the reception center, I worked for the head psychiatrist.
Right.
So
Okay,
I
wait. Let's not jump ahead to that yet. Let's not jump because he still has to tell us about the county jail before we get to where he goes to the reception center. So you say it's a whole different dynamic in the county jail.
Yeah, the
Right.
racial thing. Like I never.
Racial things.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like on site, like it's
Oh, it's on site racially in the county jail when you're
at
there?
certain points. At certain points.
All right.
At certain points depends on where you go. Just the tension,
Okay.
just the rawness of it.
Okay.
Like when you're on the streets and you playing with pistols and stuff, and you feel the power.
Yeah.
But in there you don't got no pistols.
Right.
You know, and especially when you're new to it, it's like, what can I do to defend me? You gotta learn how to fight.
Right.
Which we grew up fighting in Pasadena, but it was just that and just
It was full fledged in your face now, though.
oh yeah, all the time, like every day,
Yeah.
like ridiculous.
Yeah. I've heard.
Yeah. It's like, true.
So you're going through the court process. You're in the county jail fighting, defending yourself, doing whatever you got to do to make sure you make it out safely. And you obviously get to the point where you take a deal for 7 years.
Right.
So they send you to reception center. Where they send you reception center at?
Delano.
Delano. How was your first day or your first time actually hitting the reception center? What was on your mind? What was going on? What were you thinking? Where were you at?
Well, the mindset I was in, I was banging.
So you was already turned up?
I was already turned up.
Okay.
You know, because the county keep you like that.
Yeah.
So it's like you like for whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's a trip because when I got off the bus and the first thing you see is no warning shots.
Yes.
So it's like no warning shots. Like, what does that mean? Like in your head, like,
Right.
What does that mean? So they processed me in, and I was walking. I think I was in D5. I forgot what module I was in, but Ellis was on the yard. My cousin Ellis was on the yard, and he was exercising, and he looks like my dad,
Oh, okay.
right? And I looked and I called him. I said, Ellis, and then I talked to him. We came to the fence. I talked to him a little bit, but I really don't know how I felt because I was in my mind. I was just in jail.
Yeah, it was just like what's happening.
I don't
Either
think
way.
I really knew the seriousness of it yet.
Right.
Like I didn't grab hold of it.
Okay.
So it was like I was banging. Like this is a part of banking.
Yeah, you just here.
I'm just here.
It's the next step in this lifestyle.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so you're in reception center. You're currently in CMC East at this time?
Yes.
Okay, so you hear he's in reception somewhere, and you take what action?
I found out. I went to my supervisor, which was the head psychiatrist. I was a dual diagnosis drug and alcohol counselor. I told him, I said, hey, you might be losing.
Right.
And he said, what you mean? I said, man, I just found out that my son took a deal for 7 years. He's in the reception center, and I've never lived with him one day in society. And wherever my son go, I got to be there, man.
Right.
You know, I said, he's a fairly decent-looking young man. I said, I can't let him come up in here and get preyed on by these predators.
Right.
And I don't know what might happen to him, so I got to be there with him. I never lived with him in society, so I can't let him come in this world and be exploited.
Right.
And so the next week, I ain't knowing nothing about it. It didn't go any further.
Right.
Next week, I'm sitting in my room, and a dude hollered at me, hey, man, Big Paul. I was like, yeah, what's up, man? He said, man, I just seen Roosevelt coming from getting his insulin shot. He said, your son is over at the hospital.
Mm.
I said, what?
Right.
He said, man, your son is over at the hospital.
Right.
So I run try to get a pass to go, but I didn't
Right.
get a pass, so I had to work my
Yeah, the whole
Houdini
little-
shot that I talked
little
about
envelope.
already.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
and got over
right.
there. So when I seen, I'm walking down, I seen him, he see me, he started walking towards me.
Right.
You know, we embraced, and we both just break down crying.
Wow.
And one of the officers seen it and began to approach us, and the guys that came on the bus with him told the officer, hey man, that's a father and son situation. That's a father and son.
Right.
So the officer kept walking, and when he looked and saw me, he knew who I was, because I worked as a critical worker.
Right.
Who I had range and
I
running
ain't heard
throughout
that
the
in a while.
institution.
Critical
Yeah.
worker. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. You could work on a lockdown.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then go anywhere in the institution I wanted to.
Right, okay.
You know, so he's like, oh, that's Scott. You know, so he waved it off.
Right.
So, you know, the next day, because I had a runner's pass, meaning I can go anywhere in the institution doing reasonable time.
Right.
You know, where regular activities is flowing.
Right.
I went to the section that he lived in, took him a bag of, you know, Zops and Wops.
Okay,
You know,
so he was placed at that time. You were placed in a different
He
part.
was placed in B quad, and I was
Okay.
housed in D quad.
Okay.
D quad was the section with the mentally ill. was
Oh,
housed
okay.
Because I was
so
a
you
dual
were, okay, so
diagnosed
you were a
I was
worker.
housed in
Your cell was in the work where you worked at, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
single cell, you know,
Oh, okay. I understand.
phone access when I wanted to.
Right, because
canteen
nobody else was
access.
using it, so it was all yours.
But most of the guys was, you know.
Yeah, mentally disturbed
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
So so they put you in a cell with a homie, or they just put you in a cell with initially who'd you go in the cell with?
I forgot.
'Cause I know
Yeah,
eventually
he
you
was
moved
from the
to
Bay.
Pop.
He was from the Bay.
Oh, okay. So they didn't because I know in reception did okay. So when you went, I'm sorry to go back a little bit. So when you went to reception, did they hit you up with the where you from and all that, or do you bang right?
Yeah.
So you were down as non-affiliate, or were you down as a homie?
No, I just said what I say. I think I said I was a blood affiliate.
Oh, okay.
I never.
You never were
Admitted.
on their paperwork as a blood.
I never admitted to it.
Oh,
They
okay.
It
Okay.
says it's on there, but I never
Oh, okay.
admitted to it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, that's gang enhancements now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but well,
now.
that's when they were first hitting it. When
Oh,
I
okay.
was going through it, they were already implemented out there.
Okay. Well, see, I didn't have that problem because my crime was gang related, so
Yeah.
they already knew with me.
Yeah.
And the reason why his mother felt what happened to me was going to happen to him is because at the time, the law was 10, 20 life.
Right,
Use a
right.
gun, go to prison.
Oh, right, absolutely.
So, and then they attached that gang affiliation along with it.
Right.
So with all that, it just enhanced things. So the fear, the paranoia sets in. It's like, take this and run with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's how that all came about.
Okay, so now you're taking him food in another part of the institution
He
or
just
the yard.
arrived. He ain't got nothing. Ain't got
Right,
no
absolutely.
property.
And
Or
you're
nothing.
doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're taking him a care package,
Yeah.
whether it's your son or your homeboy.
Right.
You still
There
gonna,
you go.
It's your son, so you're definitely gonna take him even more than you take
There
a
you
homeboy.
go.
Right. So now your pops bring your stuff. So eventually you guys figure out to do a buddy chrono, or
What happened
a
was-
marriage chrono. Move in with each
What
other.
happened was, because we had never lived together in society,
Right.
they didn't let us become cellmates right away because I was, again, a critical worker.
Oh, okay.
I worked at the capacity of a staff member in 4 different positions. At that time, that was the third.
Right.
So they couldn't take a chance at me providing the institution with the type of work that I was, jeopardizing losing me.
Okay. Yeah.
So what did they do? They monitored our activity to make sure he wasn't caught up in nothing that could jeopardize my program.
Right.
So after they monitored us for 4 months, then they said, okay, they cleared us to
Okay.
go ahead and become cellmates.
Right.
Following that. But what happened was I had to move from the section I was at
You had to move
back
back
to
into
the
regular,
section where he was at.
into a regular section.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so as that took place, they monitored us and bam, they arranged for us to go ahead and become cellmates.
So Junior, I'm sorry. What do you like to be called again?
That's cool.
Okay, Junior. It's hard for me to wrap my hand around the situation because I haven't had to do. I couldn't even understand for me personally what it would be like to be in a cell with my dad because my dad was an ex-convict as well, but for my son to come in the cell with me, what was it like for you to be in the cell? The realization of being in the cell with your father.
To be honest with you, man, I didn't look at. It was a happy feeling. I felt a form of security.
Right.
You know, because this is my pops.
You know
But-
for sure somebody got your
Yeah,
back. No,
for
no
sure.
doubt.
Yeah, but I didn't really grasp hold of it, man. I was where I was at mentally,
Yeah.
maturely. I wasn't there to
Right.
really accept what it was.
Okay.
Can I throw this
Oh
out
yeah,
there?
absolutely. Please
Because
do.
I've never asked him this.
Right.
And because of you providing us with this form,
Yes.
I feel this would be something that would be good for the listeners to possibly process along.
Yeah.
But I never asked him the time that he would come visit me when he left. How did he feel?
Right.
You know,
right.
that was the thought that was always
Leaving
on
his
my
dad in
mind,
prison.
man. You know, because the day that I paroled, he
Right.
walked with me to R&R.
Okay.
and all that. He in there.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. Oh yeah. See, I didn't even trip that. You came while he was there, and he left while you were still there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he had with me in R&R.
Oh, okay.
And all that. Whenever they processing me, receiving and release. So as I'm walking out, he went as far as we could go.
Right.
And as far as we could go, we embraced, and I'm like, hey man, I get at you.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm leaving out, and he's going back in, and I feel guilty being released because I'm leaving my boy.
Right. No, I get it.
So the thought of me flashed all the time that he left the prison from business visiting me. And I went back in, and I'm leaving the prison from staying with him, and he stopped. So we never talked about that. So look what I asked him. One day, since he, after I'm writing the book and working on the book, I got around to asking him on the phone. I ain't even asked him face to face. I said, hey man, and now here we is. I've been home 13 years. At this point, when I asked him this, I said, hey man, how did you feel when I got released that day I parole? He said, honestly, Pops.
Hold it. What was your answer?
I felt abandoned.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I felt abandoned all over again.
That's what he said. That's what he said, man.
Oh, that's big, brother.
Hey, and we had to hang up the phone right then and there, bro. We didn't even talk no more after that, man. He said, man, I felt abandoned all over again. And now we get into an argument while we there. There really wasn't an argument where we talking in the bleachers one day. We eating ice cream and soda, and he just jump up out the clear blue and say, why you abandoned me? And I said, man, I didn't abandon you, man. He said, well, why you didn't make plans for me before you come to jail? I wouldn't have had to come here. And all this is coming out just out the clear blue. And I'm like, but man, I was living my life. But your mama got pregnant 2 days before I got busted on the case. Man, I didn't have a chance. I didn't find out she was pregnant till 2 months later. He said, yeah, but you were seeing her for how long? Right. Before that? Well, year and a half. He said, well, couldn't it happened then? You should have been prepared then.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm dealing with that.
Yeah, but see, I don't want to be. Allow me to play devil's advocate here.
Come on.
Because what you said was, it was out the blue. Nah, this is something this young man been dealing with his whole life until the time he came out.
It didn't reach me then, though.
Right. No. What I'm saying is on his side. Like you said, he came out the blue.
I couldn't see it then.
Nah, bruh been sitting on this shit for years.
I couldn't see it then, though.
And then he finally got the strength to be like, you know what? Fuck this, man. You finna hear this, Pops.
Exactly.
No disrespect, but you finna hear this.
Exactly.
This is how I feel.
That hit me.
Ooh. Wow.
So we had to talk baseball, man.
Yeah, you got to. Nah, it ain't no baseball. No. Because if I could sit with my father right now, I'd be like, nigga, what happened? Yeah. Where you was at? None of this would have happened if you would have stayed.
And he
probably said the same thing. He probably said the same thing. I didn't know nothing about you. Well, nigga, why you didn't find out about me then? Nigga, you was having... Yeah, bro, this is woo, yeah, y'all. Damn. So, I mean, okay, so, wow, how did that conversation go? What happens after that?
We just got...
Because y'all was cellies at this time?
Yeah. But we out hanging out on the yard.
I know that part, but y'all eventually got to go back in the cell when y'all just got 4 walls and you and him.
It was just quiet, man.
For like about a month.
Oh, it was just like isolation with each other.
You know how cellies get, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Just no talking, just you do your program, I do mine.
I'm not fucking, bro. You got
your half a day in the cell, I got my half a day.
Oh, y'all started living like cellies. Oh.
Yeah. We in an institution.
No, but I mean, it's a difference. It's a difference between living like cellies. Because y'all both know, y'all both been incarcerated.
And we father and son.
And living like brother, like dad, and like if my brother
But we never had that chance.
Yeah, or like my real close homies from the streets. I've been cellies with these cats. Like I put people out because my homie from the street then came to prison. Because I know what he's about. I know come on, you come in the cell with me. Because I know then there's no celly.
And you had that reference to draw from.
Yeah, absolutely.
We never lived together in society.
So like
I'm his father, he's my son, but we really didn't know each other. Yeah. We didn't have that opportunity. Men. I didn't get to take him to school. Yeah. I didn't get to change his diapers. Yeah. I didn't get to sit at the table and have breakfast with him, man. We didn't get to sit down and look at TV together.
Right.
We didn't have that reference of stability to draw from, that trust, that bond. So here we are, we feeling one another out, seeing one another. So when just out the clear blue, something get dumped and asked to me, I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and what can your response be? Really?
I'm sorry.
I mean, really,
now, if I was faced with it, I would just have to admit, I'm sorry. What can I do now to straighten it out? You can't. You can't.
So
you work from what you got to work with.
Like that's something I had to learn. Like, I mean, I can't fix what I did. I just got to go from here, man, and show you who I am. You know what I mean? And I'm assuming that's what you're doing. You know what I mean?
That's the journey now.
Like, you see, you guys met my son. Like, he had his whole life without me. You know what I mean? So it's like, and we've had those conversations. He asked me what happened. Why you leave me in that lifestyle like that? You know what I mean? That's why he lives here with me now. Because they live in a whole different state, his mom and them. But this is, for him to come in there and I know how I was. Because my dad was a square. But he was like you. Like, he go do like little hood shit. You know what I mean? But he wasn't no gang member. You know what I mean? My uncles was gang members, not my dad. You know what I mean? So I figure if I run into him and I'm turned up, like, I'm honestly, like, if it would have been me in this situation, me and my dad probably would have had a fight off top. Just the way my mindset was. Like you said, y'all were strangers. And the way I was at 19, 20, 21 when I went to prison, I probably would have just got off. But see, I didn't have what you guys had, the visits and the lifetime of knowing who he was but not knowing he was as a man. You know what I mean? So you guys are back in the cell living like cellies for at least a month.
Yeah.
What's next?
Go on a visit together. We get on the visit and you play the role. You know how families come together on holidays.
Yeah.
And everybody.
So everybody's out there on the visit.
Along, and then after that, they go their separate ways.
It's all smiles and baby kisses and hugs and stuff in the visiting room.
You know, yeah.
But back on the yard, it's,
you know, you do your thing, I do mine.
Push my own soup up and do me. You know? You want the rest of this water? Oh, okay. I understand how that is because I've been through that situation with just a celly where it's just like, yeah, but you can have the rest of that water, but I'm cooking my food for me. I'm doing me. Do you over there? So this lasted obviously until it stopped lasting.
We begin to grow through it,
right,
and work through it, and have, you know, more of understanding.
But did you guys really have that conversation?
We didn't have it.
Still to this day?
We had it, but it was more on a surface level.
Yeah, we
didn't really just take. And then we both got kind of strong personalities, so we dealt with it more through action than through discussion. You know, the men type of, you know,
the
caveman. We act on things. We demonstrate it through our actions rather than through our discussion.
Yeah, and you know what? Okay, we'll talk about that after the video. Yeah, that's okay. No, we're not gonna talk about that after the video. We're gonna talk about that now because that was the mentality I had too. Like we don't talk. We men. We don't talk about our emotions. We don't talk about our feelings. We don't talk about that shit. You know what I mean? If that needs to be fixed, I'll fix it. If that needs to be broken, I'll break it. Here's your food. Here's your clothes. Leave me alone. But that don't fix some of our shadows and shit, right? That don't fix shit. That's a conversation that got to happen. I mean, you know, and I'm just a man just like you guys, man. I'm a strong personality as well. So I understand exactly when you say about you guys both having a strong personality. I know. I got an aggressive personality. My son know, you know, we've had that talk like, look, this is what I'm used to. Yeah. Boys do this, girls do this. Stop doing girl shit. You know what I mean? But then the conversation came and the realization came that, wait a minute, you ain't even been here to teach him to be how you think he should be. How you going to just assume he's going to be how you think he's going to be? So we've had that. We sat down, we had that conversation. And he felt the same way. You left me.
I can see now where there's some things that because I wasn't there for him in his adolescence, that he was not provided, that is having an effect on him and his son's relationship.
Everything.
And so now I have to put in the time to try to provide him with what I wasn't able to give him then, to help him give my grandson what I wasn't able to give him in order for my grandson to not lack.
Absolutely.
So this is the transition that we're making as a result of the awakening taking place.
Right.
And having opportunities such as this.
Right.
And being honest, because I hope people benefit from this.
Yes.
Nate, but what I'm doing primarily for my son,
Absolutely.
Man. Overall.
Absolutely.
And
I'm just like when the book comes out, oh, I can't wait. And I got somebody for you, and we'll talk about that too, about getting that book out and published. Yeah. Like, I got somebody for that too for you, that I'm going to hook you up with. But this is regardless of what, like you said, you're doing this, like you said, your actions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Actions show him
I
that
gotta
he's more important to
demonstrate
you
that.
than anything.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I understand that because my kids are more important to me than anything in this planet. My kids and my wife. That's it. But the little advice from a youngster to an OG, man, compared to you, because I'm a youngster compared to you. Y'all gotta have that talk, dog. Y'all gotta have that talk. Not on camera, not on no other public
And I totally
speakers,
agree.
nothing.
And I tell on myself right now.
Yeah.
And let me share with you. I'm gonna tell on myself that my place in the book that I'm writing about, his and my relationship, above the book that I was doing for myself initially, is my way of admitting my faults and lack of, and taking the initiative to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm doing it initially through the book form, and it's edifying him and placing myself in a more of a teachable position.
Right.
Because watch this. This is the one thing I never admitted to him, and I'm gonna admit it right now. That God allowed him to come to the prison to be my cellmate.
Right.
Because I had learned all that I did, maxed out in the prison and learning.
Right.
And I thought that I'd really arrived to be prepared to return to society.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever he came to the prison, and eventually we became cellmates, God said, "Now I'm going to teach you what you don't know through your son." He became a teacher for me, and I fought with it. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm beginning to really learn the lessons that was really meant for me to learn from him being the teacher.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Because, like, I'm dealing with my own crap as well, right? Like, was it hard? Like, I don't know. You was a grown-ass man in the cell with your dad. But not only a grown-ass man, a grown-ass gang member. Like, was it hard, like, for you to, like... Because I'm sure he's trying to guide you to stay out of trouble and do this shit. But there's got to be shit that you get drawn into. There's got to be stuff that you got drawn into in 7 years that didn't have nothing to do with him. You know what I mean? Like, how was the dynamic with the homies compared to, like...
Well, like you said, how you didn't kick somebody out yourself for your homeboy.
Yeah.
The homies had got mad. Well, it was certain people.
Right.
Certain homies. Certain homies was for it. Certain homies wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, and when I moved the homie out, I told him, "Man, you got to go. My dad coming in here."
Yeah.
So they got mad at first.
Right.
A few of them.
Right.
And they developed. But I think they was more mad at the fact of my dad's style and how he didn't mess with nobody.
Right.
Because he didn't mess with nobody. Now me, I was banging, so
he was out there associating
with the homies.
Right.
But it was CMC wasn't that really wasn't.
It wasn't no super active spot.
Yeah, that wasn't no super active spot.
Right.
It was like it was.
You could damn near do what you wanted.
Exactly.
Okay.
You got your own key to your cell, man.
Okay. I heard about that. Yeah. Okay.
It ain't really no place, but when people still try to play the penitentiary game,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And then, like he was saying, I was young, I was getting visits,
right?
You know, so they'd be like, "Oh, maybe he could hook me up with somebody. Maybe he could do this. Maybe I could swindle him out of
all
something."
the homie stuff. Yeah.
Yes. You know
the
how
homie stuff.
Yeah,
right.
So,
I know.
Yeah, but that's the only time that I think. No, it was another time, huh?
I think you let somebody borrow something and they didn't give it back when they supposed to have or something, and you was about to get into it with them, and I think Lil E got into the mix and squashed it, got it squashed or whatever.
Yeah.
So was there any? So nobody ever tried to encourage? Like like I told your father, like I never been to any kind of prison like that. So I mean, not that I look down on them, because I wish I could be I wish I could have did my time at a program prison. I probably would have got out when I was supposed to.
Right.
But like, does it pop off at these prisons, or like, I mean, I don't know, like, do like riots and stuff happen there?
Yeah. It was a few riots there.
Okay, so like, it's like everybody obligated to. Is it like, is there politics in effect at these kind of spots? I don't know. You know what I mean when I say politics, right? Yeah. Like if it pops, like when I'm in high desert, if it pops off with the whites, I'm automatically obligated to go get popping.
Yeah,
you know, if it pops out with the Southerners, I'm obligated to go get it cracking. Right. You know what I mean? And the fact that I was a gang member, so if it pop off with the Bloods, it's popping. It's nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? So like in like this spots, is it like that there?
Certain people try to make it like that.
But it's not a general rule.
It's not a general rule.
Okay.
Nah. Okay. I mean, it was really like a program prison. I was blessed to go there.
Right. No. Really, yeah. Absolutely.
No, for real.
And for you guys who don't know, we've talked about this before. That prison yards are different. You can't apply one specific rule to every prison yard. You know what I mean? It's different places have different rules, different politics. So you got to make sure you know what you're talking about before you jump on saying anything. We're gonna let it take a break real quick for a second. This is easy for my editing. I'm just bullshitting right now. We just cut this whole little part off because I keep seeing the camera